This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com.
Hey everybody, it's your old pal Rob. Now, GenCon is right around the corner. And you know, I can usually do the usual baloney videos like everybody else, but it really made me think, and it has to do with some of the bigger conventions and some of the things that some of these companies go through. Some of these companies are you know, I have some pretty good friends in them. Especially some of the bigger ones, you know, people that have always been kind to me and stuck their neck out for you know, a little itty bitty channel that didn't mean anything to anybody at one time. And you know, now I'm kind of, you know, floundering there, but they've always been there, and we've always talked about the business, and it is a business. Let's call it what it is, and how it works. And one of the things, and I think is kind of one of the biggest almost rip-offs in a way, is actually, you know, big, huge conventions. Because it doesn't really help the little guy as much. The expenses that you've got to pay out, it's a huge risk. It's taking the dice and praying that you can roll sevens. It really is, in a way, for the smaller company. And that's who I really feel for. And the reason for this video is that if you are going to GenCon, and there are going to be a lot of you that are going to GenCon, you know, next week, or depending on when this video goes up, this week, that I hope you pay attention to the small, independent companies, or the smaller companies, the companies that aren't the big companies. If you notice, some of the bigger companies don't go to do these anymore. The expenses are just too much. To rent that space for a weekend is absolutely ridiculous. Okay? Is absolutely ridiculous, especially at GenCon. How many games do you have to sell just to make the rent for the space? Now, some people, you know, say that, oh, you know, they get exposure, that's going to help them later on. Yeah, that's true to some degree. Okay, and if your game's really good, you know, it's going to make a big difference. You're going to sell out. But there's a lot of expenses that go into that. Not only do you pay the astronomical fee to gain for the space each day, okay, for a GenCon, a spiel, you know, whatever you want to talk about, okay? There's some of these bigger cons, okay? Not only are you going to pay for that space, you are also have to pay for your people. You've got to put those people up in hotels, okay? At least one night you've got to feed them and thank them for everything that they've done, okay? Okay, then you're going to have to pay the shipping to get all your stuff in there. And then on top of it, you know, if you're coming from halfway across the company, how about the travel? So now you're talking an astronomical amount of money, okay, to have a booth, and you need to sell a certain amount of games. You know, is that going to help you in the future? Are all the people that want that game are going to the convention to get that game? Is it going to translate, and are you going to make enough? Are you going to be able to show enough of your Kickstarter stuff to hopefully fund? And what if you don't fund? It puts a lot of pressure on a lot of these companies. And that's why, you know, it's really important for the people that are going to pay attention to some of these smaller companies that are really trying to do things. I'm not saying every game's great, but don't get caught up in the big, flashy, you know, over-the-top productions an upper deck, where they have a 50-foot shark there, or a last minute entry from Fantasy Flight or something like that. These bigger companies, these littler companies really need your support, and they're making great games, or they're getting ready to really do some Kickstarters that are going to make a difference. And you being able to see these things so you can make smart decisions is a positive, but it also helps them. And when you go to this big convention, hey, go have a good time, play all the games that you can, but do take some time to spend some quality time taking a look at the smaller guy that is putting it all on the line at this convention. And there's a lot of people that do that. And, you think of how many different vendors are going to be there. Most of them have advertisement budgets, okay? They're the bigger companies. So that's, let's call that a third, okay? Then another third is they're going to come out of this successfully. They're going to, show off their Kickstarters, maybe have a product that they released then and there, and maybe they come out of it in the positive, okay? But there's going to be a third that are really going to struggle, okay? That are living hand to mouth. They have a full-time job. They took the week off so they can go to this convention and show off and hopefully get into something that they really are passionate and care about, okay? There's going to be some booths there that are going to, that have been around for years that are going to make the same excuses, okay? And people forgive them every time. Forget those guys, okay? Forget their poor management and all that other stuff. Go see some of these other people that are doing things right. Okay? The Thunderworks. Okay? The Rock Manors. All these guys are making quality games and need to be pushed to the forefront. These are great companies. And they put it on the line every time going to an Origins, going to a GenCon, going to the Spiel, PAX. All these conventions. Can you imagine the money that you have to spend to do this? To keep, to hopefully keep your business going. Not only rest on your past laurels, but to be able to start showing off your wares for your future. Okay? It's one thing to sell a great game and live off that game for a little bit. But you have to keep growing. You have to keep evolving. You have to keep on coming up with great ideas if you want to do this, or you are going to die and fade away. And a lot of companies are doing that. And a lot of companies can't afford to go to these big cons. They're expensive. Or, they say, well, I can't pay that $5,000 a day, booth size, to have that big booth in the middle of the floor where everybody walks by. I may have to pay a little less and get in the corner and pray that people come by and see what I'm doing. Because we never go through the whole convention. It is overwhelming, okay, especially a GenCon. But to be able to support these people and understand their plight, maybe you pay a little bit more for the game than you would at a miniature market there, okay? You're helping them out. You really are. If you really believe in the game, it's okay to pay a little bit more, okay? Even in these tough times, something, I know I'm going to get a lot out of this game, but this guy, I believe in this guy, and he's going to create great games, and I would like to see him create more games. I don't mind paying a little bit extra. Maybe I'll buy some of this extra bling that'll go with this, bling this game up a little bit, where they can make a little bit extra to help them offset the cost, to help them start developing their next, hopefully, big hit, okay, which I benefit from. Keeping good people in this business will keep this hobby going. So when you're at this fantastic convention, and it is a great convention, make sure you stop and see the little people. See what, not the little people, but the smaller companies that with big ideas, because they're the ones that put their heart, their passion, and their soul into this, and they're counting on you. Okay, they're counting on you to go there. Okay, and they're counting on you to see what they have and what they believe in, and to show it to you so you can get a fantastic experience out of it. So I really, really, really hope that you take the time, and even though you see all the flash and the glitz and the glam, take some time to walk in those nooks and crannies. You'll be surprised what you discover, because there's a lot of hidden gems and a lot of people that believe in a lot of wonderful things and have wonderful ideas and imaginations that we can only dream of. Who knows? Maybe it's the next Ignacy, Eric, or Reiner. Who knows? That's up to you, and you can help that along. Okay? So take some time, think about the smaller, companies and distributors there, and how much that they have to put out to really be there. They are putting their lives on the line, and you supporting and being, smart and, really taking some time to take a look at things can make all the difference in the world. Until next time, I hope you all enjoy your GenCon this year. And as always, it's your old pal Ron. We'll see you soon, everybody.